From Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio, it is game number 13 as your Xenia Scouts take on the Southern Ohio Copperheads in the final game of this two-game set. Andrew Alix here alongside Gabe Genovesi. We are happy to have you aboard on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in the great state of Ohio. The Scouts are rolling with momentum right now. It's 4 straight wins. They find themselves at 6-6 in a dead tie with the Copperheads for second place in the Great Lakes Southern Division. Well, a de facto tie, granted that the Richmond Jazz are 6-5. They have played one less game than the Scouts and the Copperheads, respectively. So it's a new game. The Scouts looking to be over 500 for the first time in the 2017 campaign, and they're going to send Nick Curtis to the mound to do just that. But as the away team, the Scouts will come to the plate first, and they are going to face Butch Baird. Baird, another left-handed pitcher for the Copperheads. Just like we saw last night, he enters the game with a 2.25 ERA. He is 0-0 in a couple of appearances, a 2.07 batting average against. In 8 innings pitched, he has allowed 6 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. He has struck out 9 and walked 3. That makes for a 1.13 walks and hits per innings pitched, or as you guys probably know, whip. So the lineup for the Scouts today, leading off, is going to be Ben Beachy. He'll be followed by Ryan Park, who's the designated hitter tonight, batting third. And in left field is going to be Jordan Lambert, cleanup spot, and playing over at first base. Chris Ackerman's catching and batting fifth. Batting sixth and playing third is going to be Joey Roddy. Ange Bourgeois batting seventh and playing second base. Dylan Lottenville in right, batting eighth. And Francisco Andina will be in the 9-hole for your Xenia Scouts. In the field for the Copperheads, it's Justin Antonzik in left, Daniel McFarland in center, Ty Sunken in right, Evan Haverly at third, Bryson Smith at short, Zach Walsh at second, Connor Regan at first, and Dan McCauley will be behind the plate. So, Gabe, you've seen all the momentum, and quickly, what are you looking for tonight from the Scouts?
Let's see if the bat can get going tonight. We've talked about it throughout the past few games. Before last night, it was 3 one-run games for the Scouts, all 3 wins. 3 runs, 2 runs, 3 runs. And we come in last night, yes, we scored 12 runs, 10 of those off of walks, wild pitches, and hit-by pitches. Let's see if we can get some hits and score some runs off of some knocks to the gaps.
The first pitch of this ball game, a fastball outside part of the plate, a called strike. The batter is Ben Beachy. Beachy, the shortstop tonight from Otterbein College, of course. A 289 hitter on the year, a team high 11 RBIs. That's 3 doubles. All the extra base hits for Beachy. 0-1 curveball up and away, evens the count up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the top of the first inning here. The first batter of the game, Ben Beachy. Obviously, we are still scoreless between the Scouts and the Copperheads. 1-1. Butch Baird delivers. Breaking ball, and that one comes low and in. But in there for a called strike, says the home plate umpire, Scott Bonar. So Beachy behind in this count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan Park awaits on deck. Jordan Lambert in the hole. The 1-2 pitch coming now. And Beachy lifts that one into actually medium right field. The right fielder Sunken uses his hand to block the sun and makes the grab for out number 1. So the first Scout of this game is sent down. Mark it down as an F9. It's going to bring Ryan Park to the plate. And I don't know if you guys can see it on your camera, but if you actually look, there's a rainbow over the right field fence. And yeah, it looks like it actually does come up. So somewhere over the rainbow, it's Bob Wren Stadium. It is the top of the first, and Ryan Park coming to the plate. Park, he bats from the right side today against the left-handed hitter, or left-handed pitcher, I should say. First pitch, outside, ball 1. Ryan Park from Division II, Point Loma Nazarene, a 286 hitter, 5 RBIs, a couple of doubles, and swing and a miss there. Evens the count up, 1-1. Ryan Park yesterday, a couple of hits. He reached base 5 times. 2 hits, was walked, hit by a pitch, and reached on an error. 1-1, check swing. Did he go? They'll say, yes, he did. So Park now behind in this count, 1-2. The 1-2 delivery coming now. And swung on and missed strike 3. Butch Baird's first strikeout of the day. Park goes down swinging. And 2 up, 2 down for the Scouts in the top of the first here. going to bring Jordan Lambert up. Lambert, the left fielder from the University of Tennessee Martin, had been the Scouts' top hitter in terms of average until a couple of days ago where he went cold. So now batting at a 256 mark, 2 doubles, 8 RBIs for Lambert. First pitch curveball off the plate, or outside part of the plate, a called strike one. No balls and 1 strike with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Scoreless between the Scouts and the Copperheads. 0-1 pitch. And Lambert fouls that one out of play. Third base side, so quickly behind in the count, 0-2 is Jordan Lambert. Lambert bats from the left side against the southpaw, Butch Baird. The 0-2 pitch. And breaking ball off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the count now. Here play left field in pretty much all of the Scouts games so far this season. He awaits the 1-2. Here it comes. And that one a chopper, but foul first base side. We're going to stay at 1-2.
Good job by Lambert to stay alive there. A curveball low and away. Kind of flung his bat out there somehow. Was ahead of it and took it down the first base line. We'll see if he can get a pitch here on 1-2.
Lambert taking an 0 for 5 yesterday. Reach base twice, once on a walk and once on an error. As he fouls that ball straight back into the screen. So we're going to stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes here. 2 away in the top of the first. Kyle Casserly awaits on deck if Lambert can keep this inning going. The 1-2 pitch again. And that one is roped into center field, and that's going to drop. Jordan Lambert has himself a 2-out single. And as Dave Naw would say, Gabe, nobody no-hits the Scouts.
And a good job by Lambert, fouling off at least 3 pitches in that at-bat, and then finally waiting back on a curveball that would have dropped in there for a strike and lined it out towards center field, and that brings up the hot-hitting Kyle Casserly.
So Kyle Casserly to the plate, and boy, did he have a day yesterday. He singled twice, 2 singles, a home run, a hit by pitch, and a walk. So he was, check that, 2 walks. So he was 3 for 3, or 3 for 4, with 2 walks. So he reached base 5 times in 6 plate appearances, but first pitch to him, a called strike 1. 0-1 the count. 2 away here, and pickoff attempt, and Jordan Lambert's caught in a pickle. The first baseman throws over to second, and the rundown is going. Jordan Lambert tries to slide back in, and they will tag him on the slide. So Jordan Lambert singles, but a phenomenal pickoff attempt from Butch Baird. Does not even allow Kyle Casserly to end the inning himself. So no runs on 1 hit and nobody left aboard for the Scouts in the top of the first inning. We have reached the middle of the first, still scoreless between the Scouts and the Copperheads. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Bottom of the first we go. Andrew Alix alongside Gabe Genovesi and Nick Curtis to the mound for the Scouts. And Gabe, what numbers do we have on Nick Curtis?
Curtis, of course, only pitched in one game for the Scouts this year, a 6.75 ERA, and that's because he's pitched 2 2/3 innings.
And first pitch from Curtis. Looks like that one plunked Daniel McFarland in the knee. So not the greatest start of all time here for Nick Curtis. A hit by pitch and a ball that, just got away from him a little bit, I would say.
I think that actually might have hit him on the foot.
Oh.
And that hurts.
Yeah, that's tough. So 1 on and nobody out here. It's Justin Antonzik to the plate. Antonzik, the left fielder from Michigan State, comes into the game batting .298, a double and 4 RBIs for the freshman from Westerville, Ohio, a former high school teammate of the man to my left, Gabe Genovesi. First pitch here from Nick Curtis. That one comes on the inside part of the plate. A called strike 1. 0-1 the count here. Nobody out. The runner at first, Daniel McFarland. In the bottom of the first between the Scouts and the Southern Ohio Copperheads. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball upstairs. Evens the count up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And just to finish Curtis's numbers, 3 hits allowed on that 2 2/3 innings pitched, 2 runs, both of them earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts.
So a ball and a strike to count. And Tonzik bats from the right side against the righty Curtis. And curveball that time, just missing off the plate. The count moves 2 balls and 1 strike. Tonzik did not get much playing time. A redshirt year with the Michigan State Spartans. Michigan State, of course. An athletic powerhouse if there ever was one. 2-1. And that one low and away. So 3 balls and 1 strike. A very favorable hitter's count here from Justin Antonzik.
This is not what you were hoping to see early from Nick Curtis. Of course, the first pitch hit by pitch. And now behind in the count to Antonzik, who's going to sit on a fastball right here.
3-1 the count. Curtis sets and delivers. And that one a foul ball out of play, first base side. The count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you talk about Justin Antonzik, Michigan State, athletic powerhouse, and all kinds of big names in all kinds of sports. You think about the basketball program that they got there, producing Draymond Green, Tom Izzo's program, and the football program, of course, producing guys like Le'Veon Bell and in the National Football League, 2 of the top players in that league right now. But the Spartan awaits the 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. And that one is roped into foul ground, right field side, out of play. We're going to stay at 3-2.
And if you remember, after the last time we played these guys, Coach Cougs talking about how to pitch to Antonzik. He likes to get inside on his hands. Antonzik can be victim of that strikeout. I believe it's 10 times thus far this year.
10 or 11.
It is 11, excuse me. So if he can get one in on the hands, Cougs likes that pitch.
3-2 now. Here it comes. And that one's hit hard over to Ange Bourgeois at second. They'll get to the runner at second. The throw to first will be held there, so mark it down as a fielder's choice for Justin Antonzik. The lead runner, McFarland, is out at second, so the first out of this game recorded now for Nick Curtis, and now a very dangerous hitter in Evan Haverly. And, we talked about Antonzik, and you know him well, and what you always come back to when you talk about him is a very speedy guy on the base paths.
Yeah, he ground ball, you rarely are turning 2 on him, and when it comes to stolen bases, 5 thus far this year. He's 5 for 6 on stolen bases, only being caught once.
So now it's Evan Haberly to the plate. Haberly, a third baseman from Santa Clara, 5 for 11 on the season. First pitch from Curtis, up and away, ball 1. 5 for 11, good for a .455 batting average. His only extra base hit thus far, a home run. He has 2 RBIs to show for it. Haberly, the only returning player from the 2016 Copperhead squad, and Haberly earned himself an all-star appearance for his performance in 2016. A fastball on 1-0. Taken all the way by Haberly. In there for a called strike. Evens up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 away here in the bottom of the first. The Scouts and the Copperheads still scoreless. Antonzik He leads from first. Curtis looks into the catcher, Chris Ackerman, as a pickoff attempt to try to get Justin Antonzik, not in time. And the Scouts dug out excited, thinking they might have had a shot on that pickoff. Antonzik with a big lead over first, but the field umpire, Jimmy Craig, says no cigar.
And the dugout really wanted the call. Casserly didn't argue too much. He did shoot a look over at the field umpire, though.
1-1. And that was up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nick Curtis just finishing up his redshirt freshman year with Bruton Parker College in the state of Georgia. He is a native of the state of Georgia himself. Pickoff attempt yet again. Not in time to get the speedy Antonzik, so Justin Antonzik's speed, certainly something that Nick Curtis and Corey Coobs, the pitching coach alike, are well aware of, and he continues to take a monster lead. 2-1, and that one plunks Evan Haberly. So 2 hit by pitches so far, and it's runners at first and second and 1 out for Blaine Krim. Krim from Mississippi College. We saw him yesterday blast a 2-run shot over the left field fence. Krim, the designated hitter tonight, a .311 hitter on the year, 7 doubles, 3 home runs, and 8 RBIs. So Justin Antonzik at second, Evan Haberly at first. And Nick Curtis has already gotten himself into a tad bit of a jam here in just his first inning of work. Antonzik leads from second. Here's the first pitch, fouled straight back. 0-1 the count. Blaine Krim at Mississippi College this past year. It's a junior college program. The native of Mobile, Alabama. The 0-1 pitch. And that one hit foul first base side. So Nick Curtis ahead on Krim at 0-2. Righty-righty matchup here, so favorable for the pitcher, Nick Curtis, of course. And Curtis taking his time here. He looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. The 0-2 pitch. And that one is hit high in the air and deep to left field. Going back is Jordan Lambert, and that one's going to go off the wall. Coming around third and heading home is Justin Antonzik. Evan Haberly to third, and standing at second with an RBI double is Blaine Krim. So Nick Curtis ahead in the count, 0-2, but cannot retire. Blaine Krim, and just like that, 1-0 in favor of the Copperheads is the score.
And he went with the curveball, but he just hung it. I mean, that ball, the curveball hung right over the middle of the zone for forever, and Blaine Krim's going to make you pay there.
And Corey Coobs out to have a word now with Nick Curtis. Now it's runners at second and third. Evan Haberly at third, Blaine Krim at second. Connor Regan is the batter, and Corey Coobs out there just trying to minimize damage at this point. Talk to his young pitcher who, as a result of a couple of hit by pitches here, got himself in some trouble, and then Blaine Krim, he'll make you pay. So Corey Coobs back to the dugout. Chris Ackerman will go back to behind the plate, and it'll be runners at second and third and 1 out for Connor Regan. Regan, the first baseman from the University of Buffalo, actually plans on attending Wright State this next year as the University of Buffalo's baseball program no longer in business. An unfortunate situation where a talented program that had produced many draft picks over the past couple of years is no more. First pitch from Nick Curtis. That one fastball on the inside, ball 1. Connor Regan playing first base tonight or this afternoon, I should say. He caught it last night. And boy, did he have his work cut out for him. Time is called there. Curtis will step off the mound. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 away here. 1-0 Copperheads the score in the bottom of the first. The 1-0. And that one is hit hard and deep to left. Jordan Lambert's going to take a couple of steps back. Tagging up is the runner at third, Evan Haberly, and he will score without a throw as it's cut off there by the third baseman, Joey Roddy. A sacrifice fly for Connor Regan makes it 2-0 Copperheads here, and now 2 away in the bottom of the first.
And that's all Connor Regan had to do. Put a ball in the air, put it deep enough. Even a ground ball to the right side worked as well. But he did his job, and he'll take that RBI all day, and the Scouts are in a hole early once again.
Yeah, it's a story we have seen before, no question. The Scouts were actually trailing last night's game by a score of 6-1 before they ended up winning that contest 12-8 as the Copperheads bullpen just could not find the strike zone. That's the only way to really put it. But now it's Ty Sunken to the plate. The runner at second, Blaine Krim, 2 away here. Sunken, the right fielder from Bowling Green State University. He batted .227 with 3 RBIs thus far in the season. First pitch to him. That one finds the zone, a called strike. 0-1 the count now. Sunken bats from the right side against the righty. Curtis has allowed just 1 hit, but 2 runs come home after a couple of hit-by pitches. Come back to bite. The 0-1. Fouled straight back, so Nick Curtis ahead in this count, 0-2. And with a runner in scoring position, and we saw what happened when he was ahead in the count, 0-2 on Blaine Krim. The hard liner to the left field wall. Krim leads from second. Nick Curtis ahead in this count, 0-2 with 2 away. The pitch. And that one is hit in the air, and that'll drop between right and center. In the gap coming around third to score is Blaine Krim. Make it 3-0 Copperheads on an RBI single off the bat of Ty Sunken. And we saw it once, and now we'll see it again. Ahead in the count, 0-2. And Nick Curtis fails to retire Ty Sunken there. And the early deficit here for the Scouts, now 3-0.
And the curveball today for Nick Curtis, it's not really there. It's hanging right over the zone, and it's easy for these Copperheads hitters to just poke it out there in the outfield and do what they need to do to get runs in, something we haven't seen from the Scouts this year. They haven't come through with runners in scoring position a lot, and the Copperheads are thus far today.
So first pitch, the runner goes. Throw from Chris Ackerman over to second will be in time. America runs on Duncan, but nobody runs on Chris Ackerman. And that's going to do it for the Copperheads in the bottom of the first. But boy, did they get some damage done. 3 runs on 2 hits, and nobody left aboard for the Copperheads. We have played one. The Copperheads lead the Scouts by a score of 3-0, but plenty of baseball left to play, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. top of the second inning we go. The Copperheads striked early with 3 runs in the bottom of the first, and now the Scouts back-to-back in the top of the second. Kyle Casserly to lead things off for Xenia. First pitch curveball, and Cass hits that one high in the air and deep to center field, but the center fielder McFarland's going to come under it and make the grab a couple steps in front of the warning track for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out, Kyle Casserly. And Butch Baird, the lefty, continues to work here.
And unfortunately for Cass, he just hit that one to dead center, down one of the lines, and that ball has a chance of going out in the gaps, and that's probably or easily on the warning track. It might have been caught, but he hit that one to the deepest part of the park.
Chris Ackerman to the plate. First pitch to Ack off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Chris Ackerman did not come with the team for this first game last night. He had a family event to attend. COH 1-0, and big swing and a miss there from Chris Ackerman, and a fastball off the plate evens up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out here in the top of the second. 3-0. Southern Ohio is your score. Ackerman, the catcher from Hillsdale College, a .208 batting average. He has drawn 10 walks, however, so the on-base percentage a little bit higher up there, but Ackerman watches the 1-1 fastball, and that one just on the black, the outside part of the plate. So Chris now behind in this count 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. And that one, a curveball, and Ackerman holds off. Almost looked like it hit him in the foot, but might have gotten the ground there first.
I think it bounced, and Ackerman had to get out of the way pretty quickly.
And Ackerman, it clearly didn't hit him, I guess, at this point, because if it did hit him, Ackerman would have at least tried to make some case that maybe it did. But all that counts for is ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chris Ackerman now. Joey Roddy waits on deck. The pitch. And that one off the plate, ball 3. So the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, but 2 away here. Ackerman, the catcher from Hillsdale College, threw out Ty Sunken from behind the plate to end the bottom of the first. The 3-2 pitch, and that one is off the plate, ball 4. So Chris Ackerman draws his 11th walk of the season, and the Scouts have a man on and 1 out now for Joey Roddy.
That's going to be the key for Xenia today. Get base runners any way you can. The past few games, the ball just hasn't been falling. Anything in the air has been right to an outfielder or any. We've seen quite a few lined shots right at the third baseman, the second baseman, and if you can get on, give someone a chance to make a play, get a hit.
First pitch fastball to Joey Roddy. That one a strike call. Outside part of the plate. 0-1 the count. Joey Roddy hitting 0-83 this season. He has 3 RBIs, all of them on bases loaded walks. The 0-1 pitch. Joey watches once again, fastball, pretty much the same spot, outside part of the plate. So he has taken 2 pitches, both of them in there for called strikes, and Joey finds himself in a familiar position behind in the count 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, we'll check that. A pickoff attempt to try to get Ackerman over at first. Not in time. Chris Ackerman, not a threat to steal. Has he even tried?
Ackerman, no, not thus far this year.
Stranger things have happened. Now the 0-2 pitch. Curveball off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
Can I take that back? I read the wrong line. He's actually 0 for 1 on stolen base attempts this year. So still not a threat. The one time
wasn't it? If I recall correctly, he might have tried to steal third. It was definitely in the darker days when we were losing some ball games. 1-2 now. Joey takes all the way. That ball way outside. So after falling behind 0-2, Joey Roddy working the count a little bit now. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. The Scouts trailing this ball game by a score of 3-1. Roddy, the third baseman from The Ohio State University. And time called there by the catcher. We talk about Ohio State University. We talk about Ohio State baseball. The Big Ten champions in 2016 have produced some pretty good pros. If the name Nick Swisher rings a bell, I'm sure it does in the state of Ohio. And Joey hits that one on the ground, and that one's going to find the gap and roll into left field. A base hit. So Joey Roddy breaks himself out of quite a slump. A single, just a ball hit on the ground. Not even the fastest hit ground ball, but it just finds the spot between third and short. The second hit of the day for the Scouts. And they have 2 on and 1 out now for Ange Bourgeois.
And let's hope Bourgeois can keep this thing going. He's one of the guys who has been on base in every game he's played in for the Scouts thus far this year. 1 hit yesterday, and he got hit by a pitch as well, and it'd be a good time for a hit here.
So Bourgeois to the plate. He bats from the left side against the lefty. First pitch, and that one's a ground ball over towards second. Second baseman comes in, tries to get the double play, but realizes he doesn't have the time. So Ange Bourgeois out at first. Both runners advance. And now another guy who's been slumping, but all the potential in the world, and Dylan Lottenville, he bats with a couple of runners in scoring position and 2 away here in the top of the second.
And quite frankly, a huge spot for Dylan Lottenville. You'd love, if you're the Scouts, to cut into this 3-0 lead. A base hit here might score too.
Chris Ackerman at third, Joey Roddy at second. Lottenville bats from the right side against the left-handed pitcher, Butch Baird. First pitch here to Dylan. And that one fastball low and away, ball 1. Lottenville batting .088 on the year. But that surely does not reflect his performance this past spring at Division II Hillsdale College. 1-0. Curveball inside. Lottenville ahead in this count. 2 balls and no strikes.
Now, if you're Lottenville, especially the way you've been struggling lately, get your pitch to hit here. Don't chase anything off speed. And see if you can poke one out in the outfield here.
2-0 here. Lottenville awaits the pitch. That one a fastball on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Dylan Lottenville at Hillsdale played in 44 games, a .261 batting average, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs in his sophomore campaign with the Chargers. He awaits the 2-1 pitch, and high and away. So a 3-1 count now for Lottenville. And if you're Butch Baird here, you either got to give Lottenville something to hit, or you risk loading the bases for the man with the probably the smallest strike zone in the Great Lakes League, in Francisco Andina, who awaits on deck. 3 balls and 1 strike. The pitch from Butch Baird, and that one is on the outside, and it's going to get past the glove of the catcher. Chris Ackerman comes home on the wild pitch. A walk for Dylan Lottenville. Joey Roddy advances to third, so the Scouts are on the board here in the top of the second. The score is 3-1, and you don't have to put the ball in play to bring runners home. That's something we've learned at Bob Wren Stadium these last 2 games, Gabe.
This is insane. So that it's now 13 runs for the Scouts here at Bob Wren the past 2 days. Now 3 runs scored on wild pitches, 8 on walks, and 1 on a hit by pitch. Do the math, that's 12 of 13 runs.
So Ackerman comes home to score. Joey Roddy at third. Dylan Lottenville at first. The batter, Francisco Andina. Andina bats from the left side. First pitch to Andina. Fastball inside part of the plate for a called strike 1. Andina hitting .182 on the year. 1 double, 3 RBIs for the native of Puerto Rico. 0-1 now. Here's the pitch. And that one a curveball missing on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike moves the count. Andina yesterday singled, a 1-for-4 day. Did also draw a walk. 12 walks on the year for Francisco Andina. That is tops on the Xenia Scouts ball club. The 1-1 pitch. And that one is hammered into the glove of the shortstop, Bryson Smith. Great contact there from Francisco Andina, but you hit it hard, but you hit it right at someone. So the Scouts are done in the top of the second. 1 run on 1 hit and 2 men left aboard for Xenia. We have reached the middle of the second inning. The Scouts trail the Copperheads by a score of 3-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. So it's the home half of the second. Xenia trails 3-1 here. Nick Curtis out for his second inning of work, and Bryson Smith going to lead things off for the Copperheads. First pitch to Bryson Smith. A fastball inside part of the plate, a call, strike one. Smith, the shortstop from Western Kentucky, comes into the game batting .303. That's with 3 doubles, 4 RBIs. The 0-1 pitch. Check swing, did he go? They'll say he did. So Curtis quickly ahead in this count, 0-2 on the Western Kentucky shortstop, Bryson Smith. Curtis allowed 3 runs on a couple of hits in the bottom of the first inning.
And let's see what he comes with here, because the curveball wasn't working in the first.
0-2. And that one on the outside. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
And I think that was his slider. He has curveball, changeup, slider, fastball. That one looked off speed, and it looked like it broke outside to me. Curtis, of course, riding on the mound.
The 1-2 pitch now. Low and away yet again. The count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's the 7, 8, and 9 spots in the order. Bryson Smith, who's at the plate, followed by Dan McCauley and Zach Walsh. 2-2. Just missing on the inside. So the count evens up. Or should I say the count moves 3 balls and 2 strikes, a full count here. And Curtis trying to avoid putting another man on base. The 3-2 pitch. And that one a grounder in foul territory, third base side. We're going to stay at 3-2. Bryson Smith did not play in last night's contest. A couple of new faces in the Copperhead lineup from last night to tonight. 3-2 again. And that one's up and away, ball 4. So the first walk issued of the day from Nick Curtis, and 1 on and no outs. Going to bring Dan McCauley to the plate.
And that it just hurts. If you're a pitcher, you've been ahead in the count 0-2 now 3 times. You've given up 2 hits and a walk. And you just can't do that to this dangerous Copperhead lineup.
Yeah, if the Copperheads have woes, it's not offensively. It's not offensively by any means. They are a little bit short on the bullpen side, and that's cost them some games, and that probably will continue to cost them some games. But at the same time, you just can't put these guys on base for free, and that counts for errors in the field. And we saw that in the first couple of games here, where the scouts were making errors in the field. But also, you don't want to walk them. It's just giving them free opportunities. First pitch now to Dan McCauley upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes here. McCauley, the catcher from Ohio University, of course. We are on the campus of Ohio University right now. McCauley comes into the game batting a .125 with 1 RBI. He bats from the right side against the righty. And 1-0 upstairs. So Nick Curtis, after going ahead in the count, struggles to find the strike zone as of now. 2 balls and no strikes, I should say. Curtis delivers. And that one low and in the dirt. So 3 straight balls thrown by Nick Curtis. If you're pitching coach Corey Koobs, you got to wonder what the plan is going to be here. But Ange Bourgeois coming over from second to have a word with Nick Curtis, probably just trying to calm him down. A more veteran presence from Ange Bourgeois. And the problem with Nick Curtis, not the problem I would say, but kind of the wild card factor is that taking a redshirt year, I talked to him today and he said, I'm going to go out there today. And I said, go for it, man. Hope you pitch well. And he said, we'll see. I've only pitched 1 live game since high school. And I'm like, that's a good point. 3-0. And that one missing on the outside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk issued to Dan McCauley, and it's 2 on and nobody out now. And Chris Ackerman going to come out and have a word. So the batter now going to be Zach Walsh. Walsh, the second baseman from Santa Clara. A 250 hitter on the year, 3 doubles, no RBIs. Kind of a weird stat line. 3 doubles but no RBIs. That means you're
leading off some innings.
Yeah, you're leading off some innings, exactly. Now it looks like Corey Coob's going to come out and have a word with Nick Curtis and the entire infield coming in to talk to the young righty from Georgia. And, while we have the time, I'll plug social media. The Scouts, we're all over the internet, man, I'll tell you. You can follow us on Twitter at Xenia Scouts. Go ahead and like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is called Xenia Scouts. You can check out the official website of the Xenia Scouts. Gabe, what's that?
I believe that's XeniaScouts.com.
Yes, www.xeniascouts.com. And, of course, my favorite thing is when you hit the big red subscribe button on the YouTube page, Xenia Scouts Radio. So the infield disperses. Corey Coobs heads back to the dugout, and it's 2 on and nobody out now. The batter is the 9-man, Zach Walsh. Walsh bats from the right side against the righty, Nick Curtis. The pitch, fouled back. 1 ball, or no balls on strike the count now. Walsh from Santa Clara playing alongside Santa Clara teammate Evan Haberly here. Not to be confused with, for those of you that are Great Lakes Leagues historians, Hunter Walsh from the University of Copperheads in the 2016 campaign. 0-1 now. Here's the pitch. And fastball just off the plate, evens up the count 1-1.
And I like that pitch from Curtis. Took a little off there, an off-speed pitch, and that just missed off the outside edge. It's hard to see the corners from where we are. We're a little left of the plate, but that looked good.
Curtis 33 pitches deep here with nobody out in the bottom of the second. Pitch. Curveball in there for a called strike. So the curveball there working for Nick Curtis on that pitch. 1-2 now the count, trying to get his first out of the inning before he has to face the top of the order for this Copperheads lineup. It's Bryson Smith at second, Dan McCauley at first. The 1-2 pitch. And that one, they'll say it hit Zach Walsh on the elbow, I see. So the third hit by pitch of the game, and the base is now loaded. And on 1-2, that is not what you want, Gabe.
That's the third hit, as you mentioned, the third hit by pitch. And I believe the second on a curveball. So, and he's walked 2 as well. So 5 free passes in the first time around the order. He's faced 9 batters, 5 free passes, and now the Scouts have to go to the bullpen in the top of the second.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be his day. So a call to the bullpen. It looks like it's going to be Alex Worthington. And I will confirm that or deny that when we come back. So the bases is loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. 3-1 Copperheads is the score. And we will get you all the information when it becomes available. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. New pitcher in for the Scouts, Alex Worthington, and he inherits a little bit of a jam here in the bottom of the second. 3-1 the score, but the bases loaded, a couple of walks and a hit by pitch to the 7, 8, and 9 spot in the order. So it's now back to the top of the order, and Daniel McFarland. First pitch to McFarland, and that one gets past Chris Ackerman, but Ackerman hustles back there and gets in front of the ball. Worthington goes to cover the plate, so the run does not come home and score. So that's good news. McFarland was hit by a pitch to lead off this game, ended up getting out at second on a fielder's choice from the second man in the order, Justin Antonzik. He bats from the left side here against the southpaw, Alex Worthington. 1-0 pitch, and that one just off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Worthington played this last season at Bellevue Community College in Bellevue, Washington, actually Dylan Lottenville's hometown. 2-0. That one finds the zone, a called strike. McFarland, 314 on the year. 3 doubles, 9 RBIs. The center fielder from Eastern Kentucky. So 2-1 now. Here it comes. And looks like a foul tip right back into the plate. So the count evens up 2-2. Worthington has appeared in a couple of games. Not much to write home about. Admittedly so, but talking to him last night, he's just trying to get back into his groove and settle in. The 2-2 pitch, and that one hits him on the inside, kind of like the chest area. So a hit by pitch brings home run number 4. That's Bryson Smith, and 4-1 Copperheads the score.
And unfortunately, it's just control problems for these Xenia Scouts pitchers. We've seen it all year long, quite frankly, all year long, and it can be frustrating to watch. And then these Copperheads hitters they know they're going to get ahead in the count. They can get their pitches they want, and wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple shots to the gaps now.
So now it's Justin Antonzik. Antonzik, his first time to the plate, grounded into a fielder's choice, ended up coming around to score the first run of the game. That was on a Blaine Krim RBI double. And he takes on the outside first pitch, so 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 finds the zone. Evens the count up 1-1. It's McFarland at first. McCauley at third. Zach Walsh at second. Still nobody out here. In the bottom of the second inning, the Scouts trailing the Copperheads by a score of 4-1, and the Copperheads with no sign of slowing down here. The 1-1. And that one, a chopper over towards first. And unfortunately, just in an awkward position, Kyle Casserly goes and covers it in the middle of the field, and Worthington can't get to the bag in time. So everyone's safe. Another run comes home to score. 5-1 Copperheads, and now the score.
And that's an infield single. That is not an error on Casserly. And Tonzik's speed doing it again, as we've talked about in all the games we played in against the Copperheads, and the bases are still loaded with none out.
Yeah, in a situation where you get the infield single or you get the ball hit to the weird spot in the infield, Justin Antonzik is not the man you want running down the first base line.
Nope.
So now it's Evan Haberly with the bases loaded, still nobody out. First pitch in the dirt, good block there by Chris Ackerman. 5-1 the score in favor of the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Haberly was hit by a pitch his first time up. 4 hit by pitches here in just 1 inning of outs recorded, as the 1-0 pitch finds the inside part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike, and now the count. Haberly from Santa Clara, 455 on the year. That's 5 for 11. He does have a home run thus far. And the 1-1. That one finds the zone again. A called strike 2. So ahead in the count now is Alex Worthington. Worthington has surrendered 2 runs already here. Neither of them will be earned, as he inherited a bases loaded, no out situation. So 1 more run could score, and as that one's hit hard in the gap past the shortstop into left field, 1 run comes home, and the runner at third will stay put. So another run on the board now for the Copperheads, make it 6-1, and that's actually going to close the book on Nick Curtis.
Yep, final line, 1 inning pitched, 2 hits allowed, 6 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 3 hit by pitches, and no strikeouts for Curtis.
Not a great line. But now with Blaine Krim to the plate, the base is still loaded, and now this is Alex Worthington's responsibility at this point. The base is loaded, and first pitch on the ground, fair territory, third base line. 1 run comes home, another run comes home. Rounding third, actually he'll stay put, is Evan Haberle. So another double there for Blaine Krim. And the score now 8-1 in favor of the Copperheads.
And Krim continues to just absolutely rake through the beginning of this year. He came in with 7 doubles, now 9 doubles. And, 8 RBIs make it 11 already. 2 for 2, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs today. No one can seem to get Blaine Krim out.
So it's Krim at second, Evan Haberle at third. Connor Regan at the plate, first pitch, curveball, and that one's going to get away from Ackerman, and Haberle is going to score easily. Blaine Krim advances to third, make it 9-1 Copperheads.
And Ben Beachy is going to stay at the mound and talk to Worthington, but all you can really say is, you're fine, man. Calm down. It's 1 inning, and we got a lot of baseball left to play.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it comes down to you play in a hole, but, Scouts surrendered 9 runs in the first inning against the Hamilton Joes and ended up losing by 2 runs in ended up being a very close ball game that day. So a week ago. Swing and a miss there. Or they'll say maybe he got a slight piece of it. So 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out here. 9-1 Copperheads. The runner at third is Blaine Krim. The 8th batter of the inning in Connor Regan. As fastball goes up and away, 2 balls and 1 strike, moves the count. Regan, a sac fly his first time up. That scored the 3rd run, or the 2nd run, I should say, of the game for the Copperheads. 2-1. And that one's going to get past the glove of Chris Ackerman. Coming home to score is Blaine Krim, and run at number 10 of the game for the Copperheads. And Chris Ackerman's going to come out and have a word with Alex Worthington. He might have gotten crossed up there.
I think he did get crossed up. And, it did catch the tip of Ackerman's glove, but I would still consider that a wild pitch. Would you?
Yeah. So the bases, there's no one on them. 3-1 the count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 2nd. The pitch, and that one is grounded foul over towards third. So 3 balls and 2 strikes now the count. Connor Regan at the plate. Ty Sunken awaits on deck. Bryson Smith will bat a 2nd time this inning. He is in the hole. The 3-2 pitch. And that is upstairs and outside, ball 4. So Connor Regan walks. And Ty Sunken coming to the plate now.
And this is when baseball can drag on a little bit. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and we are 58 minutes into this game, almost an hour.
Yeah.
And it's a 10-1 game. So all those people out there that say that are advocates of baseball is boring to watch, I don't like it. This is your prime example of why.
First pitch is on the inside, ball 1. The batter is Ty Sunken. Sunken with an RBI single his first time up. Ended up getting caught stealing for out number 3 of the bottom of the 1st inning. That seems like a long time ago at this point. Runner at first and nobody out. The pitch. That one finds the zone, a called strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count here, Sunken. Sunken pitched last night. Ended up walking a couple guys home. The 1-1 pitch. And that one's hit over towards short, and that's going to get past the glove of Ben Beachy and roll into left field. So a single for Ty Sunken. It's runners at first and second and nobody out, and the Copperheads have officially batted through the order. The Scouts have yet to record an out here in the bottom of the second inning. No, not much you can say. Not much you can say. But now it's Bryson Smith to the plate. Smith walked his first time up. Actually, he led off this inning. 303 hitter on the year, 3 doubles, 4 RBIs. Breaking ball finds the zone, called strike 1. Wonder what's going on in the other games.
What about out-of-town scoreboard?
Yeah, I got it up. The 0-1 coming here, swing and miss. So, it's 0-2 now, right? Yeah, nothing can do the count. And in all the other games, no score. There is a score in this game. It's 10-1 Copperheads. The 0-2 pitch. That one bounces in the dirt. Ackerman's going to throw back to second. And unable to lay down the tag is Ange Bourgeois.
So the Joes and the Jazz are in pregame.
Yeah.
Not sure what time that one starts. And then
Probably a 7 o'clock game.
What inning are the Steam and the Locos in?
Top 2.
And there's so if you're Xenia, you're really hoping Lima wins that one again. You don't fall back any in the division race.
The 1-2 pitch, and that one a ground ball over towards third, but foul territory. We're going to do 1 and 2 all over again. The Copperheads and the Scouts. They came into this game with identical records, both team at 6-6, in a de facto 3-way tie for second place in the division. Runners at first and second, the 1-2 pitch, and that one's hit in the air towards right field. Dylan Lottenville on the run, makes the diving grab for out number 1. So Dylan Lottenville, wow, an impressive diving catch in right field. And that's the first out of this inning.
And Lottenville just saved 2 more runs because that ball just kept tailing toward the corner. If Lottenville misses that ball bounces literally in the deepest corner of the park. And both runs, even the runner on first who Ty Sunken, he would have scored. And it would have been a 12-1 ball game. A great play by Lottenville and right. So
now it's Bryson Smith to the plate. Smith, he walked his first time up. 1 away now, and that one's hit in the air towards right again. And that one is going to drop at the warning track and roll to the wall. 1 run coming around. Here's 2. Yeah, 2 runs will score easily. Standing at second with a double is Bryson Smith, and the score is now 12-1 Copperheads. So basically what Gabe just described would have happened if Lottenville didn't make the catch, happened 1 second later. That's a tough one.
And that's Dan McCauley who hit the RBI double. 2 RBIs, actually.
Owned it up with my book off.
Bryson Smith flew out to Lottenville.
Oh, and Ty Sunken walked?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sunken singled, sorry.
I wouldn't want to take credit away from Dan McCauley. Good for him. That's his first double of the year. So now it's the 9-man in the order, Zach Walsh. Walsh hit by a pitch his first time up. He bats with a runner at second and 1 out. Nothing and 1 to count now. Worthington, the 0-1. And that one's hit on the ground over towards short. Ben Beachy scoops it up, throws over to first in time. That's out number 2. Now back to the top of the order. And back for the 3rd time in 2 innings is the leadoff man, Daniel McFarland.
And McFarland is the ball magnet today. Hit by pitch both times.
Poor guy. So he bats from the right side, or the left side, against the lefty pitch. That one is stroked into the right center field gap. It's going to drop between Andina and Lawtonville. It'll bring home Dan McCauley, make it 13-1. There are 2 outs, the runner going, so a big jump there had Dan McCauley. Only a single for Daniel McFarland, so he has his first hit of the game. He has reached base for the 3rd time. And now it's Justin Antonczyk to the plate. A runner at first and 2 outs. The pitch. First pitch fouled back. 0-1 goes the count. Antonczyk from Michigan State. The Spartan. Talk about, Michigan State. I always think about Kirk Cousins, man. It's a swing and a miss there.
That's the Redskins fan in you.
Yeah, no, it really is. Kirk Cousins, man. That guy, the Redskins would be stupid not to pay him. I mean, you look at what Kirk Cousins has done in 2 years with the Redskins.
He's the best. Well, you had RG3 for a good year, but
let's not bring that up. Ground ball over towards third. Joey Roddy scoops on one hop, throw over to first. In time, and that is going to do it for the Copperheads in the bottom of the second. But 10 runs. We'll leave it at that. 10 runs for the Copperheads. We have played 2 innings of baseball. 13-1 Copperheads is the score, but plenty of baseball left to play, folks. The Scouts can score 13 runs in a game. They did it. Well, they almost did it yesterday. They scored 12 runs. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Top of the third inning, Andrew Alix here with Gabe Genovesi. The Scouts trailing 13-1. Back to the top of the order for the Scouts with Ben Beachy. Beachy, his first time up, flew out to right against the lefty Butch Baird. First pitch to Beachy, and that one high and outside. Ball number 1. It's Beachy, Park, and Lambert due up. The Scouts have managed a couple of hits. 2 hits through 2 innings. They have scored 1 run. Beachy shows bunt, but pulls back there, so 2 balls and no strikes to Ben Beachy. 4 base runners for the Scouts. A single from Jordan Lambert in the first, and then Chris Ackerman walked, came around to score. Joey Roddy singled. Dylan Lawtonville walked. So 3 pitches, 3 balls here for Butch Baird. And Baird, who had to sit out for a little while there during the 10-run spot that the Copperheads put up at the bottom of the 7th. Maybe a little bit off his game, but the get me across does just that. Fastball outside part of the plate, a called strike, so the count moves 3-1. Beachy came into the game batting .289 with 11 RBIs and 3 doubles. The 3-1 pitch, and Beachy looks that one high in the air to deep left field. That's going back, and that ball is gone. A solo home run for Ben Beachy. Makes the score 13-2 in favor of the Copperheads. But Beachy, his first home run of the year, the second home run of the year for the Scouts, the first coming just yesterday. And Beachy hit that one to the left center field part of the park, and that was just an absolute tank. So Beachy picks up RBI number 12 of the season, and definitely a good sign for the Scouts is just a 3-1 count there for Beachy. And he absolutely let it rip. So now it's Ryan Park to the plate. Park 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch. Fastball right down the pipe. A called strike one. Park, a .286 hitter on the season. 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. He has drawn 8 walks, so the man can get on base. And he lays down a bunt, but they'll say it went just foul. And good thing for Ryan Park, because that bunt did not go very far. And the catcher, Dan McCauley, just picked it up. And Ryan Park would have been a sitting duck there. So now, 0-2 the count to Ryan Park. Park is the designated hitter tonight. 0-2 pitch, and that one, a curveball, hits foul, third base side. Park from Point Loma Nazarene. Butch Baird now delivers curveball. Count moves 1-2. Well, that would be pitch number 43. Make it 44, I should say, for Butch Baird. And 1-2, way outside. 2-2 goes the count. Park, a switch hitter, batting from the right side now against the southpaw Butch Baird. Curveball, and Ryan Park lifts that one high in the air to center, but not very deep. The center fielder, McFarland, comes under it and makes the grab for out number 1. So Park just got under that one, but decent contact there. And now it's going to be Jordan Lambert to the plate with one away. Lambert got the first hit of this ball game for the Scouts. That was in the top of the first inning. He singled, ended up getting called down on a pickoff attempt. They just got him caught in a pickle. That was out number 3 on that one. And he hits one on the ground over towards second. Easy throw to first in time. 2 away. Mark it down as a 4-3, and now it's 2 outs for Kyle Casserly. Casserly flew out to center. Saw just one pitch his first time up, and he attacked. And unfortunately, just not getting enough of it. Casserly, a .214 hitter on the year. He homered yesterday. First pitch. That one finds the zone, a called strike one. Casserly from Wright State University. 0-1, up and in, ball 1. Even though the count 1-1. Casserly started his career at the University of West Virginia.
We apologize for the technical difficulties, folks. The Scouts down 13-2 here in the top half of the fourth inning. Butch Baird gets the first 2 outs of the fourth, and Ackerman strikeout. Joey Roddy flies out to right field. Ange Bourgeois sends a line drive right back up the middle. It hits Butch Baird right on the knee. It looks like his left knee, and he cannot put any pressure on it. Gets helped off by a coach and a teammate. And the Copperheads are going to have to go to the bullpen. The Scouts, Ange Bourgeois, the one who hit the ball, gathered the team by the dugout. They said a quick prayer for Butch Baird. And now, obviously, we are going to have a pitching change here at the Wren. 13-2, the Copperheads lead. 13 runs on 8 hits for Southern Ohio. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Scouts. One of those hits, a Ben Beachy solo shot. And now, while we switch pitchers, we're going to take one more break just to get info on the new guy on the mound. We'll be right back. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Tyler Arthur comes in to pitch for the Southern Ohio Copperheads here in the top half of the fourth inning. Here in the fourth, Ange Bourgeois on first. Dylan Lottenville steps to the plate. 13-2, the Copperheads lead over the Scouts. The first pitch to Lottenville in there for a strike on the outside corner. Tyler Arthur in to pitch after Butch Baird gets hit with a line drive off the bat of Bourgeois on the knee. Had to hop off. Now the 0-1 to Lottenville. A swing and a miss on a curveball. No balls and 2 strikes. So Butch Baird hops off, putting no pressure on his left leg. Arthur comes in. This is his 4th appearance with the Copperheads. 6 1/3 innings pitched, 10 hits given up, 9 runs, 6 earned, as Lottenville takes a ball just off the outside corner. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 8.52 ERA for Tyler Arthur. Now the 1-2 pitch. A swing and a line drive toward left field. That'll hop in front of the left fielder, Justin Antonzik. And a 2-out single for Dylan Lottenville.
And good for Lottenville, and you get some enthusiasm there from the Scouts dugout as Lottenville, he'd been struggling as of late, batting just .088 of the year, and we've been waiting for him to break out. So Joey Roddy and Dylan Lottenville both with singles already here in the 4th inning. So if you're looking for positives to take from this game, you already have a couple right there.
And in steps Francisco Andina. the 9-hole hitter for the Scouts today. He lined out to the shortstop Smith his first time up in the second inning. The first pitch to Ondina, just at the knee, strike one. Ange Bourgeois on second, Dylan Lottenville on first. 2 down here in the top of the fourth. The Scouts trail the Copperheads 13-2. Ondina, the lefty. The new pitcher, Tyler Arthur, a righty. The 0-1 pitch, a line drive towards center field. The center fielder, McFarland, settles under it, and that'll do it for the Scouts here in the fourth. No runs on 2 hits for Xenia, and we'll head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Copperheads 13, Scouts 2. To the home half of the fourth inning we go here at Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio. A 13-2 lead for the Southern Ohio Copperheads over the Xenia Scouts, and Titus Collins still on in relief for the Scouts here in the bottom half of the fourth. The first pitch to the batter, Ty Sunken, is low in the dirt for ball one. It'll be Sunken, Smith, and McCauley, the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Copperheads up here in the bottom half of the fourth. None of those guys were in the lineup yesterday against the Scouts, as the 1-0 is down low once again. 2 balls and no strikes to Sunken. Collins on in relief for the Scouts after Nick Curtis and Alex Worthington could both only go 1 inning. Now the 2-0. 3 balls and no strikes to Ty Sunken. Nick Curtis, 1 inning pitch, 2 hits allowed, 6 runs, all earned. 2 walks, 3 hit by pitches, and no strikeouts. Worthington on in relief as Collins misses low. A 4-pitch walk to Ty Sunken.
And for Titus Collins, the guy who came in and, a couple of strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking into the heart of the Southern Ohio order. A shaky start here in the home half of the fourth, but Collins, who we have seen improving, really, from game to game. We've seen good improvement from Titus Collins, a guy who is new to baseball, so hopefully he can shake that leadoff walk-off and face Bryson Smith here.
He throws a strike at the knees to Smith. No balls and 1 strike. Smith walked his first time up in the second inning and then flew out to right, in the second inning as well, in that big 10-run inning for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Alex Worthington, his line ends up 1 inning pitched, and now Smith, a little bouncer in front of the plate. It rolls foul. A good play. Good decision by Chris Ackerman to let that ball with the backspin roll foul.
You're exactly right, Gabe. And Chris Ackerman, who the veteran experienced catcher there, knows that obviously he could have made out first, but the runner would have advanced into scoring position. So instead there, Ackerman makes the smart decision, chooses to wait it out.
Just to finish Worthington's line, 5 hits given up, 7 runs, all earned. And now the 0-2 is high and tight on Smith, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 walk and no strikeouts for Alex Worthington. 13-2, the by 11. The curveball in the dirt. It gets past Ackerman. The runner sunk and will not go. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bryson Smith.
Well, that's the second time today that Ackerman has, let a ball get by him, but just quickly adjusted to make about 1 runner so far behind the dish by Ackerman.
Another ball in the dirt from Collins. Looked like he short-armed that one a little bit. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On the batter, Bryson Smith. Smith from Western Kentucky will be a sophomore with the Hilltoppers next year. Stands at 5'11", 180 pounds as a righty. The 3-2, high and away. So Titus Collins, after being ahead 0-2, walks the second batter of the inning. And that brings up Dan McCauley for the Copperheads. McCauley 1 for 1 with a walk today. Both at-bats in the second inning. He walked his first time up in the second, came around to score. And then a 2 RBI double his second time up in the second inning. And this time he checks his swing. No balls and 1 strike. Collins checks the runner at second, sunken. The 0-1 pitch, low in the dirt. A good job by Chris Ackerman here in this inning. He is balls here in the fourth.
What we saw from Connor Egan yesterday when the Copperheads pitchers were getting a little bit wild, throwing balls in the dirt, and he did his best to stay in front there.
Now the 1-1 pitch, a fastball. McCauley, his last time up, that 2 RBI double was his first extra base hit of the year. He came into this one 2 for 16, a $125 batting average. Now the 2-1 pitch, a hard ground ball toward Beachy. He'll flip to second. Bourgeois to first, and they turn 2. The Scouts turn 2. Titus Collins gets the big ground ball he needed. And there's 2 down here with a runner on third in the fourth.
8-6-4-3. Ground ball over to short. Beachy quickly gets that play to develop. Bourgeois to Casserly. It's something that we've seen a couple times so far for the Scouts this season, and a positive sign, especially as earlier in the season, Ange Bourgeois was having trouble getting that second runner over at first, but more recently it has not been as much of a problem.
Zach Walshup takes a huge hack at the first pitch fastball. No balls and 1 strike.
It just goes back like the point that Goobs was talking about. You just got to take your first step where the outside foot is. Once again, Collins getting him to swing and miss there. He's ahead in this count, 0-2.
That time an off-speed pitch from Titus Collins. Walsh, 0 for 1 today, ground out to the shortstop Beachy and hit by a pitch, both in the second inning. Now the 0-2, a curveball in there for strike 3 on the outside edge. Titus Collins, after allowing the first 2 to get on with walks, gets a double play and his 3rd strikeout of the day. And it's still 13-2 Copperheads heading into the 5th. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the top half of the fifth inning we go here at Bob Wren Stadium on the campus of Ohio University. The Scouts trail the Copperheads for the Scouts today. We'll lead it off here in the fifth. Takes the ball outside, 1-0. BG flew out to the right fielder, sunken in the first inning. Now the 1-0, a swing and a miss on a changeup inside, 1-1 strike. And of course, his last time up, Ben Beachy, the solo home run of the 1-1 pitch on a curveball, grounded toward the shortstop Smith. He makes the play, fires across the diamond, and Beachy is retired here in the fifth. So after the solo shot from Ben Beachy, he grounds out his next time up, and that'll bring up Ryan Park for the Scouts.
And kind of crazy when you look at the scoreboard right now, because the Copperheads with 13 runs on 8 hits. They're behind in the hits category. They have 5, just 2 runs.
And that's because the walks and the hit by pitches.
The 3 hit by pitches were tough.
The 1-0 to Park now, a swing and a miss on a curveball, 1-1 strike. And if you hear the crowd amping up a little bit here, if everybody gets Bren, a curveball low in the dirt, 2-1 strike to Park.
If there's 2 strikes, like you noticed the other day, Gabe, at 2 strikes, people start making their way towards the hot dog stand.
The 2-1 now, a fastball outside, 3-1 strike. Ryan Park 0 for 2 today, a strikeout in the first. He flew out to center in the third. Low and out dogs for everybody as Park is on for the first time today here in the fifth.
And a positive for the Scouts because Ryan Park on with the walk, and now Jordan Lambert, who already has a hit, has something to work with here. But a negative if you're me, because I was planning on going to buy a hot dog if it was discounted. So, there's a give and take in life, Gabe, and sometimes you just got to work with it.
Lambert up to the plate now. He swings through a curveball low, no balls and 1 strike. So you were actually cheering for Ryan Park to strike out.
No, I was not cheering for him to strike out, but had he striked out,
you're going to take
be $1 richer because I'm probably still going to get a hot dog. Been here for 2 hours already.
The 0-1 high fastball to Lambert, 1-1 strike.
I wish they did it for their team, too.
Jordan Lambert, 1 for 2 on the day. He singled in the first inning, grounded out to second his last time up. Now a chopper back to the pitcher, Arthur, to second for 1, to first for 2. And the Copperheads turn 2 to end the inning. Jordan Lambert grounds into the 1-6-3 double play.
Yeah, that's a new one.
And we'll head to the bottom half of the fifth with the Scouts down by 11. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. 13-2. Wow, to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Copperheads have their 1-2-3 batters due up. Daniel McFarland fouls the first pitch off from Titus Collins. No balls and 1 strike. Scouts, a run in the second, a run in the third. The Copperheads 3-0-1 is high and away to McFarland. 1 ball and 1 strike. Titus Collins making his 5th appearance on the mound for the Scouts. As the 1-1 pitch to McFarland is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Daniel McFarland today 1 for 1. An RBI single in the 2nd inning. Got hit by a pitch in the 1st and hit by a pitch to begin the 2nd as well.
And Collins has now gone 4 1/3 scoreless in a row.
And the 2 was 3 balls and 1 strike.
That's super impressive from Titus Collins.
Titus Collins, a guy who did not go to college to play baseball, as the 3-1 to McFarland is fouled off way out of play behind the plate, actually right above us. Collins went to Bruton Parker to wrestle, and he was throwing with a friend one day, and the coach saw him and was like, hey, we need some arms. You want to come try out? And, of course, they let him on the team. He pitched in a few games, actually 6 games for, and he comes out this summer, and he's doing a great job thus far as he gets McFarland to fly out to Joey Roddy at 3rd, 1 down here in the 5th.
Yeah, so talk about improvement. Titus Collins, a guy who baseball, there have been struggles. 3 earned on June 16th and an earned run against the Joes on June 15th. All kind of in mop-up duty. 2 1/3 against the Steam, striking out 2, walking 2. Hasn't allowed a hit yet in this game in 2 1/3, and didn't allow a hit against the Steam either. So walks are kind of the issue for Titus Collins. But, our question right now, though, is how long is Collins going to be able to go in this game, and who's going to pitch next?
The count 2-0 on Justin Antonzik. Now the pitch. A fastball just below the knees. 3 balls to the sophomore from Michigan State. And for Collins, honestly, when you come in the game, you don't care the score. You're just looking to get innings. You're just looking to get pitches as he walks Antonzik on 4 pitches. Antonzik reaches for the 3rd time today. He's only 1 for 3, but he reached on a fielder's choice and now a walk. And that is the 3rd walk issued by Titus Collins this afternoon.
How many pitches do we got for Titus Collins so far? 40. Means 40 pitches deep.
And the question will be, how long can his arm hold up? The first pitch to the batter, Evan Haberly, is outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Haberly. Evan Haberly 1 for 2 today, an RBI single in the 2nd inning. He struck out his last time up in the 3rd. Was hit by a pitch first. Collins steps off the mound. Justin Antonzik, speedy on the base pass, 5 for 6 thus far this year in stolen base attempts. Now the 1-0. Haberly, a ground ball toward Bourgeois. Bourgeois flips to Beachy at 2nd, over to 1st, and Beachy will not make the throw as Evan Haberly beats it out. He reaches on a fielder's choice, and there's 2 down here in the 5th.
Yeah, and probably a good decision there from Beachy to eat the ball, as Haberly was just hustling down the base pass and kind of a rushed throw in the first place. And, the last thing you want is just the wild throw when it's unnecessary and you're not going to beat him anyway. So call a fielder's choice, and Titus Collins with 2 away here could go 3 scoreless without allowing a hit.
Blaine Krim to the plate. Collins got Krim to fly out to Ondina in center his last time up, and now he's going to hit Krim. The 4th hit batter, actually maybe the 5th. We'll have to do some counting. It's at least 4. Hit batter of the day by Scouts pitching, and Krim's on 1st. Haberly will move to 2nd with 2 down.
It's 5.
Scouts pitching has it 5 batters.
Yeah, McFarland got hit twice. Haberly got hit once. Krim now got hit once. And then I'm blanking on the name. Walsh also hit once. So
up to the plate, Connor Regan. He takes the ball outside, 1-0. One with the walk and a sac fly today. The sac fly back in the first inning, scored a run. He takes the ball low and inside now. 2 balls and no strikes on the sophomore from Buffalo. Buffalo, of course, no longer with the baseball program. Regan will transfer next year. Haberly on second, Krim on first, the 2-0. And it's way outside. 3 balls and no strikes to Connor Regan. And now a walk will load the bases for the Copperheads here in the 5th. The 3-0 pitch catches the outside. 2001. Connor Regan was not in the lineup yesterday. Actually, I'm going to take that back. Regan was in the lineup yesterday for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. He was behind the plate. Now the 3-1. Just low. Regan walks. And the bases are loaded for the Copperheads. The 4th walk issued by Titus Collins. The 5th free pass as he also hit a batter.
Yeah, still no hits for off of Titus Collins. Like we said, just control is kind of the issue. I mean, he's got velocity when he has his stuff, and let's talk about the fact. I mean, he's deep into this game right now. He does not usually go 3 innings, and right now we are counting 48 pitches
in 3 1/3. Collins trying to make it 3 2/3. The first pitch to tie. Corner. Last time up, he's 2 for 2 today. An RBI single in the first, a single in the second. Haberly on third. And now a deep fly ball to right field. Lottenville will take a few steps back, settle under it, and that'll be it, the inning. For the Copperheads here in the 5th, they leave 3 left on base. No hits, no runs, and we'll head to the top half of the 6th with the Scouts down 13-2. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia. To the 6th inning we go here at Bob Wren. In Athens, Ohio, an 11-run deficit for the Xenia Scouts as we head to the 6th. 13-2 is the Copperheads lead as Kyle Casterly whiffs on a curveball to lead off the inning. The 0-1 pitch is low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cass. Casterly, after the big day yesterday, 0 for 2 today, flew out to center in the 2nd, grounded out to the second baseman Walsh in the 3rd. The 1-1 pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Casterly 3 for 4 with a couple RBIs yesterday. of course, the solo shot back in the second of yesterday's game, and now he takes an off-speed pitch low and away, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Tyler Arthur now 21 pitches into this one as he came in after Byard got smacked in the knee by that hard line drive from Ange Bourgeois.
Casserly whiffs at a changeup low, 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Cass. The pitch, outside ball 4. Kyle Casserly's on for the first time today, and that'll bring up Chris Ackerman. 1 run in the second inning for the Scouts, a run in the third off of Ben Beachy's solo homer. 2 runs on 5 hits. The Copperheads, 3 runs in the bottom half of the first, 10 in the bottom half of the second. No runs in the third through the fifth for the Copperheads as Ackerman sends a hard ground ball past the third baseman, Haberly. Chris Ackerman has his first hit of the day, and there's 2 on with none out here for the Scouts in the 6th.
And just a good one there for Chris Ackerman. Puts it in the spot where, honestly, probably in a spot where the third baseman Haberly could get it, but just really hot ground ball there, and the reaction time not quick enough there for Haberly. So just like that, it's nobody out and 2 on here for Joey Roddy, who already has a hit today.
And Roddy badly needed that hit. 1 for 2 on the day, came into this afternoon's ball game, 3 for 36 on the year. The first pitch to Roddy, low and away, 1 ball and no strikes. The redshirt freshman from Ohio State has mightily struggled this year. 14 strikeouts to begin the year. That's 3rd in the Great Lakes League. Roddy yesterday did reach base quite a few times. He reached base 4 times, 3 walks and hit by a pitch.
Man had 2 RBIs.
Both on bases loaded walks. He was 0 for 2, though. He flew out to right and grounded out to third. Now the 1-0. And Roddy skies one high, and it'll be foul and go just out of play. Down the first baseline, 1 ball and 1 strike on Roddy. Casserly stands on second. Chris Ackerman on first. The top of the 6th here in Athens, Ohio. The Scouts trailed the Copperheads 13-2. Tyler Arthur on the mound for Southern Ohio. The 1-1 from Arthur. A hard ground ball toward Haberly at third again. He'll go to second with it. Over to first, and they turn 2. The Copperheads get the double play they were looking for. The ground ball that Arthur desperately wanted. Casserly moves to third, and there's 2 down here in the 6th.
Man, a tough one there if you're Joey Roddy. Roddy's trying to hustle down the base pass, but unfortunately ends up on the wrong side of that double play. Basically, ball hit nearly in the same spot as his single back in the second, but now it's a runner at third and 2 outs.
Ange Bourgeois sends a slow ground ball over to Haberly. He picks it up, fires across the diamond, and that'll do it for the Scouts here in the 6th. They get the first 2 on, but they cannot capitalize. A 13-2 Copperhead lead as we head to the home half of the 6th. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. an 11-run deficit for the Xenia Scouts as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Bryson Smith leads it off for the Copperheads. Michael Pineda O'Donnell in to pitch for the Scouts. His first pitch is a strike to Smith on the outside corner, 0-1. Bryson Smith 0 for 1 with a couple of walks today. And this time he takes a strike on the outside edge once again. No balls and 2 strikes. Titus Collins, 3 innings pitched, no hits, no runs. He did walk 4 and hit a batter, but did not allow a run and got 3 strikeouts. Now the 0-2, low in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bryson Smith. Smith, the sophomore playing shortstop today for the Southern Ohio Copperheads, was not in the lineup yesterday against the Scouts, and this time he fouls off the curveball right behind the plate. We'll do 1-2 all over again. Bryson Smith, the last time these two teams played in a 3-game series, Smith played in 2 of them. He went 3 for 9 against Scouts pitching. Now the 1-2. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Pineda O'Donnell gets his first strikeout of the afternoon, and there's 1 down here in the bottom half of the 6th. Dan McCauley now steps to plate for the Copperheads. He's 1 for 2 with a walk today. The 1 hit, a 2 RBI double in the 2nd inning. 13-2, the Copperhead lead over the Scouts. The first pitch to McCauley, high and tight. 1 ball and no strikes. Dan McCauley, another one of these Copperheads who did not play yesterday. The catcher behind the plate today. Now the 1-0 just below the knees. 2 balls and no strikes to Dan McCauley. McCauley only played in 1 of the games in the 3-game series to open the year against the Scouts. 0 for 3 with a walk in that game. Now the 2-0 to McCauley. Grounded hard but foul down the 3rd baseline. 2 balls and 1 strike to the sophomore catcher. McCauley, a sophomore here at Ohio University as we play on the campus of Ohio this afternoon. McCauley, part of that Ohio Bobcat team that won the Mid-American Conference this past year. Now he sends a chopper to Roddy. Roddy misses. Beachy's there to back him up, and McCauley is out at first. So a short hop for Roddy that he missed on. Beachy right there to back him up in the hole, takes it on a hop, fires across the diamond, and they get McCauley by a half a step.
A very close play over there at first, but a heck of a throw by Ben Beachy, who continues to hold down the shortstop position all season long for these Scouts. And, that's a problem that we've seen a couple of times so far this season where Roddy comes in and goes for the ball, but this time Beachy there to back him up and 2 away.
And now the first pitch to the batter, Zach Walsh, skied high in the air. Pineda O'Donnell, the pitcher, catches that one. And in his first inning of work, Michael Pineda O'Donnell goes 1-2-3. But the Scouts still trail by 11 as we head to the 7th. Andrew Alix will have the play-by-play the rest of the way here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
To the top of the 7th inning we go. Andrew Alix here alongside Gabe Genovesi. The Scouts trail 13-2. And Dylan Lottenville will lead things off for the Scouts. First pitch to Lottenville. That one low and away. Check swing from Lottenville. The field umpire says no, he did not go. So or did they say he went? And Lottenville hits that one on the ground over towards third. The third baseman Haverly throws over to first. And a long reach there by the first baseman, Connor Regan. But he'll make the grab there. So mark it down as a 5-3. And I was going to say, if you're the Copperheads, maybe that one gets your heart rate up. But not much going to get your heart rate up here with a nice little 11-run cushion. Mark it down as 5-3, like I said. And now one away, and the 9-man in the order, Francisco Andina to the plate. Andina 0 for 2 on the day. A line out to short his first time up. That was actually, a ball that if it was a couple feet in either direction would have given the Scouts.
Cut the deficit to 1.
Yeah, would have cut the deficit to 1. That was in the top of the second. Since then, he's flown out. The first pitch to him is a ball. Second pitch to him, low as well. So 2-0 here to Francisco Andina. The Scouts have managed 6 hits so far today, only able to bring 2 runs across. The Copperheads 13 runs on 8 hits. 2-0 pitch to Andina. That one does find the zone, a called strike. The pitcher is Tyler Arthur. Arthur has pitched 2 2/3 thus far. He is on pitch number 31 now, the 2-1. And that one on the outside. The count moves 3-1. It's Andina and Ben Beachy awaiting on deck. Francisco comes into the game, $182, as he takes 3-1 all the way, and that one's going to find the zone. They can't lose 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And when you're batting $182, but your on-base percentage is .400, I would say he deserves a spot in this lineup.
Oh, no kidding. And we saw it last year with guys like Ryan O'Hearn and Aaron Valance. 3-2, as Andina fouls that one off, but it's not about. It's the definition of Moneyball. It's what Billy Bean would tell you. It's not about
the hits.
It's not about the hits. It really isn't. It's
on base.
It's about getting on base and putting your team in a position. When you have ducks on the pond, that's all it is. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Andina hits that one in the air, but not very deep at all. Haverly is going to have it over at third. He makes the grab, and that's out number 2.
And just finishing a thought on Francisco Andina. If you're getting on base 4 out of 10 times, I don't even think about taking you out of the lineup.
Yeah, no question. He has been extremely valuable, and you'll see that with the run scored statistic for Andina.
Especially defensively, too.
Oh, for sure. Oh, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head there, Gabe. First pitch to Ben Beachy. Curveball finds the zone, a called strike 1. Ben Beachy, a solo home run in the top of the 3rd. His first home run of the year, his only hit of the day, and he's going to lay a bunt down, but foul territory. So Beachy now behind in this count, 0-2.
And that was a real late bunt attempt from Beachy. That ball was about halfway to the plate, and he decided to just stick his bat out there. If he would have laid it fair, he would have beat it out. But very tough to lay a bunt fair when you've got about a second to react.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count. No balls and 2 strikes to count. I'm looking at a 2-2 score between Lima and Cincinnati. That's throwing me off there. So Scouts fans should be rooting for Lima in that one as Beachy fouls 0-2 out of play. Richmond and Hamilton in the top of the 3rd, still scoreless.
Those are the 2 games that the Scouts care about.
Yeah, the Scouts came into this game tied with the Copperheads at 6-6, a game and a half behind Cincinnati. 0-2 pitch way outside. Count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So just to make it real simple, if the Steam loses well today, the Scouts are still only a game and a half back of first place.
The Copperheads would then move to a game, and Beachy's going to rope a base hit down the left field line. Beachy's rounding first, and he's heading for second. The throw to second will not get there. Beachy standing at second with a double, his second hit of the game.
Ben Beachy, a double and a homer today. He had 3 doubles coming into the day, but add a couple more extra base hits onto that one.
Yeah, so the Scouts, who have a team slugging percentage of .250, getting those numbers up a little bit. The Scouts certainly a singles hitting team thus far, but Casserly with the home run. yesterday. Beat you with a home run today, a double there, and Ryan Park comes to the plate. First pitch to him on the inside, ball one. 2 outs and a runner at second for the Scouts. Park is hitless on the day, 0 for 2 with a walk. And the point Loma Sea Lion takes on the outside. A ball again, so 2 balls and no strikes with 2 outs here. Tyler Arthur in his third inning of work, and that one hit on the ground and in the hole past the second baseman. Beachy's rounding third, and he's heading home. The throw home will be cut off by the pitcher. An RBI single off the bat of Ryan Park puts a run across for the Scouts. The score now 13-3 in favor of Southern Ohio.
And these two teams are now deadlocked in hits. 13 runs on 8 hits for the Copperheads, 3 runs on 8 hits for the Scouts. And honestly, it's you can, how do I want to say this? Flip the script from yesterday to today. The Copperheads gave the Scouts 11 runs on walks, wild pitches, hit by pitches. Today, the Scouts have hit 5 batters and walked, just to add it up real fast, 7. So 12 more free passes for the Copperheads.
And you're exactly right, Gabe. And that at this level can be your downfall if you just have a day where you can't find the zone. A ball is striking out at Jordan Lambert, and that one's hit in the air to right field deep, but it's not going to be enough. It's caught by the right fielder, Ty Sunken, and that is out number 3. The Scouts get 1 run on a pair of hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We have reached the middle of the 7th inning stretch, and the Scouts trail 13-3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. The bottom of the 7th inning, and Michael Pineda O'Donnell out here for inning number 2. The top of the order for the Copperheads. We're talking Daniel McFarland, Justin Antonzik, and Evan Haberly here. 13-3 the score in favor of Southern Ohio. First pitch to Daniel McFarland. That one on the outside. 1-0 the count. Pineda O'Donnell, the righty, against the left-handed hitting McFarland. And Pineda O'Donnell bounces one in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes the count. And Michael Pineda O'Donnell, the native of the great state of New Jersey. There are 2 people from New Jersey that travel with the Scouts. One of them is on the mound, and one of them you are listening to talk right now. As Pineda O'Donnell sails a fastball right down the heart of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike the count here. Mike, of course, from Pennington, New Jersey, the greater Princeton area. Played his first couple seasons of college ball at... Ooh, and that one's hit really hard and off the glove of Ange Bourgeois. It actually ricochets off the glove and goes up behind him. Bourgeois had no hand, so safe at first is Daniel McFarland, and that's the first hit given up here by Michael Pineda O'Donnell. So now with one on and nobody out, it's Justin Antonzik to the plate. Justin Antonzik.
And they're going to rule that an error on
they are?
Bourgeois.
Okay. I would have ruled it differently, but what do you think?
He was right. It was
just hit so hard.
It was very hard hit, but it was right at him. It was a backhanded play. He could have made the play. You could go either way with it.
Yeah, no, it's just up to interpretation at that point. So give him the hit. Or no, give him the error. So still no hits allowed by Michael Pineda O'Donnell. Nothing in one the count now, and O'Donnell goes up and in, and Antonzik says he hit it, but then now the runner goes, and a very confusing moment there as Justin Antonzik starts walking over to first, saying that he had gotten hit by the pitch, and the umpire says no, and just during the exchange, the runner at first, Daniel McFarland, ends up taking second. Is that allowed? Can you do that? Because, I mean, Antonzik would have at one point been standing in front of Chris Ackerman across the plate.
If the ruling was he didn't get hit, then that's Antonzik's mistake, and McFarland can do it.
Okay. So ball and strike the count now. The runner at second. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. So ahead in this count, 1 ball and 2 strikes is Michael Pineda O'Donnell on Justin Antonzik. Gabe mentioned it earlier, the Corey Koob strategy on Justin Antonzik, who does strike out a good bit. Throw him inside at the hands, try to tie him up. 1-2. And that one is roped into center field, but Andina going to come under it, make the grab. Throws over to third, so McFarland does not advance. Out number 1 here in the inning. Hard hit ball there by Antonzik, but kind of something that we've seen similar to what we see on Dylan Lottenville a couple times this season, where the ball is hit hard just at somebody. But now it's Evan Haberly to the plate. Haberly. He has come to the plate, I believe, now 5 times. He is 1 for 3. This is the 5th time to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Got hit by a pitch his first time up. Has come around to score twice. So first pitch to Evan Haberly on the inside. Ball number 1. Looks like officially they have him as 1 for 2 because of fielder's choice. Haberly awaits, and that one off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes here to Evan Haberly. Evan, who played last season with the Copperheads, an all-star. He bats from the left side against the righty Michael Pineda O'Donnell. The 2-0. And that one in the dirt. Ackerman, good block there, but 3 pitches, 3 balls here for Michael Pineda O'Donnell. And for Mike, who got out of his first inning of work in just 10 pitches, a little more of a struggle here in inning number 2. The 3-0 pitch, and that one off the plate, ball 4. So it's runners at first and second and 1 out. And talk about a dangerous hitter. It's Blaine Krim coming to the plate. Krim has doubled twice already today. Number of RBIs, also been hit by a pitch. Krim officially 2 for 3, has scored twice, driven in 3 runs. Krim, who hit the 2-run home run yesterday, his first pitch to him, low and away, ball 1. Probably the offensive MVP for the Copperheads in this 2-game set with the Scouts.
Had a homer and a double yesterday as well. 2 doubles today. That's a heck of a couple games this weekend for Blaine Krim.
Stay hot. O'Donnell finds the zone that time. 1 ball and 1 strike the count here, with 1 away in the bottom of the 7th. 2 on for the Copperheads as they lead the Scouts by a score of 13-3. The 1-1 pitch. And that one is roped foul, just foul on the left field side. So a very hard hit ball there by Blaine Krim, but
he was about half a foot away from his third double of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Yeah, third double.
It would have been his third double of the game. One ball, two strikes now. A righty-righty matchup. The 1-2 pitch. And that one just got a piece of it. Did Blaine Krim fouls it straight back into the plate. We're going to stay at 1-2. And Krim with that powerful swing.
And he had to lunge for that one. That one was way out.
So 1-2 again now. O'Donnell delivers. Foul ball again. So we're going to stay at 3-2. Or stay at 1-2.
And Krim way out in front on these curveballs and off-speed pitches from O'Donnell. Not surprised that Corey Coobs keeps going back to him.
Out of town update real quick. 3-0 Jazz, top of the third.
And that is not what you want to see if you're a Scouts fan.
The 1-2 pitch. And that one in the dirt ball, too. Good block there by Ackerman. I mean, at the same time, if you allow Hamilton to, and Hamilton's just, at that point, a half a game behind the Scouts if the Scouts can't win here.
Yes,
which
but
is looking to be the likely result. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Michael Pineda O'Donnell with his second strikeout of the ball game. And now 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. It went way inside there, didn't he?
He way inside. I don't know, to kind of tie up Krim there. Couldn't get his hands around. But back to that Jazz game. I would rather the Jazz stick at 6 wins with us and still be ahead of the Joes than have the Jazz win and now be a game and a half back of the Jazz. And because you're ahead of the Joes no matter what.
This is true. This is true. I mean, it's hard to tell. It's like prognosticating the future is ridiculous. Like, me and Gabe looked at this earlier in the before the game, and I guess we haven't really dropped the fact on you guys just because of how poor of a start to the game this was for the Scouts. But the Scouts last year came into their 13th game of the season 6-6 as that ball's hit hard into center field. Ondina's going to come under it and make the grab for out number 3, but I'll finish the point. The Scouts came into a 2-game series at Bob Wren Stadium last season, 2016. They came in 5-6, same record that the Scouts came in with last night. And the Scouts ended up taking both of the games here in Southern Ohio, and that was the beginning of what would be them rolling off 22 wins in 31 games to capture their first Southern Division title in franchise history. So even though it's been a kind of a rocky start to the season for the Scouts, it's had its highs, it's had its lows, we are in not unfamiliar territory to where last year's team, which, finished with historically well, they were at the same point at the same time. So, Scouts, but, there is all kinds of reasons, especially following this 4-game win streak for the Scouts, for fans and players alike to be optimistic. So we're going to step off for just a second. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. back here, and now the top of the 8th, a new pitcher in, Gabe, and what do you got?
James Whiteman is new to the team, first appearance last night against the Scouts. You're not going to remember much. He didn't get through an inning and no runs, a walk, no strikeouts, no hits. That's really
he faced 2 batters.
Yeah, only faced 2 batters.
Yeah. So now the count, 2 balls and 1 strike to Kyle Casserly. The final line on Tyler Arthur, 3 1/3 innings pitched. He allowed 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 2 and didn't strike out any. So Casserly to the plate, at the plate, I should say. Pitch, and Cass hits that one in the air towards center, coming into and it's going to drop. Diving shortstop Bryson Smith tried to make the play in center field, but he will be unable to get there on the slide. So Kyle Casserly has himself a single and the leadoff man aboard here for the Scouts in the top of the 8th.
And for as many balls as we've seen Kyle Casserly hit hard, that bloop single falls in there, and he's got his first hit of the day.
So Casserly, after a 3-hit performance yesterday, now has himself a first hit of the ball game. And now Chris Ackerman, who already has a single a day, goes after first pitch. That one's hit very shallow. The second baseman, Walsh, takes a couple steps back and makes it probably 1 or 2 steps into the grass, makes the grab. So now 1 away, and Ackerman just attacking there.
And that ball just died in the air to me. I don't know if it was just me, but I thought that ball was going to bloop in there for a single. One of those that was too deep for the second baseman, Walsh, but too shallow for the right fielder, Sunken. And instead, as you mentioned, Walsh just made the easy play.
So Joey Roddy to the plate, 1 on, 1 out. Roddy's 1 for 3, singled back in the second. Since then, a fly out and a ground out. He grounded out into a 5-4-3 double play his last time up. That was in the 6th. Roddy came into the game batting .083. First pitch to him was a ball, so he awaits here the 1-0 pitch. Casserly dancing over at second. And that ball in the dirt, the count moves 2-0.
And it's been a solid couple of days for Kyle Casserly. He came in batting $139. With that single, his average is up to 209. Still by no means great, but for your batting average to rise 70 points, that's something Kyle Casserly was looking for.
Say 70 points?
Yeah, $139 to 209 now.
Wow, that's a solid difference there for Kyle Casserly. So 2 balls and no strikes to Joey Roddy. A pitch, and Roddy hacks there, missing. The count moves 2-1. It looks like we have a defensive substitution in the game. Marshall Smith has replaced Justin Antonzik in left field. So your old buddy from Westerville out of the game. Probably a successful day for him as Roddy takes 2-1 on the outside in the dirt. Good job by the catcher, McCauley. Stays in front of it, but 3 balls and a strike. Now the count to Joey Roddy. Roddy from The Ohio State University. Casserly leads from first here, 1 away in the top of the 8th. 13-3 Copperheads your score. The pitch, and that one taken way off the plate, ball 4. So Joey Roddy is on base for the second time today, and it's 2 on and 1 out. And Ange Bourgeois to the plate. Bourgeois is 1 for 3 on the day. His lone hit, unfortunately, a hard line drive back at the pitcher, Butch Baird, which, our thoughts and prayers with Butch Baird, but hit him right square in the kneecap and took him out of the game. Big curveball, and that one way upstairs. And McCauley's going to come out and have a word with the pitcher, Whiteman. As that one, you could a feeling of frustration there from the man behind the dish. So Casserly at second. Joey Roddy at first here. It's the top of the 8th inning. The Scouts down 13-3. Bourgeois bats from the left side against the righty James Whiteman. The pitch, and that one catches the inside part of the plate. A called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike now the count. Is that a slider, it look like?
I don't know, but that broke way in, and it must have crossed over the plate.
Yeah, Def certainly didn't finish in the zone. The 1-1 pitch. And that one's actually going to, looks like it hit Ange Bourgeois on the leg, and the home plate umpire says it did. So Ange Bourgeois is at first now, a hit by pitch, and the base is loaded for Dylan Lawtonville.
Only one down here in the 8th. Again, down 10 runs. I'm not even going to say. Let's see if he can get something going here. But it's got to start somewhere.
Any result is a positive result. Now, yesterday, Gabe called the game over when we were down 6-1. And I said it's not over.
My words were, if we don't get in that 6th inning.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right.
I said if we don't get a couple runs here, then we're in trouble. And we ended up getting, 8?
Yeah, first pitch, and that gets behind the glove of the catcher, but a slow roller. The catcher backs it up quickly, so Kyle Casserly does not dare advance. 1 ball and no strikes now to Dylan Lawtonville. Lawtonville is 1 for 2 on the day, a single in the 4th. He grounded out in the 7th. Also reached on a walk, so if he reaches base this time around, it'll bring home run number 4 of the game for the Scouts. 1-0 is way on the outside, 2-0 now. Lawtonville, the native of Bellevue, Washington, same hometown as the man known as the Freak, Tim Lincecum of the San Francisco Giants. And 2-0, breaking ball, catches the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike now. It's Casserly at third, Joey Roddy at second, and Ange Bourgeois at first. The 2-1 pitch, and Lawtonville fouls that one straight back. Evens the count up 2-2.
And he wanted that one. A fastball chest high, a little outside. Probably would have been a call to strike in the outside corner, but he just couldn't get there.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes now. As time is called there. Lawtonville came into the game batting .088. But a single already today, just trying to fatten the average. The 2-2 pitch, and that one is grounded foul. Ange Bourgeois did not realize it until late as he was sprinting over to second.
Bourgeois was on second base.
Ange Bourgeois is a hustle guy. He's got a lot of hustle. And is Ange Bourgeois the on-base streak? It is still very much intact.
It is intact. He's played in 11 of the Scouts, now 13 games, and he's reached base in all 11.
So we're going to do 2 balls, 2 strikes all over again. The pitch, and that one, a chopper over towards short, or to second. The throw at second for 1. First for 2 is in time. Call it a 4-6-3 double play. And the Scouts load the bases, but come away with nothing in the top of the 8th. So no runs on 1 hit and 3 men left aboard. We have played to the middle of the 8th inning. The Scouts trail the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 13-3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball Network. The bottom of the eighth inning here, and the Scouts trailing 13-3. A new pitcher into the game, and it's for the Scouts, Landon Williams. On the year, he has pitched 9 innings, allowed 7 hits, yet to allow an earned run. He has struck out 14 and walked just 2. The first batter he will face is Ty Sunken. First pitch to Ty Sunken, that one missing on the outside. Ball number 1. Landon Williams, of course, who plays for Coach Corey Coombs over at Oklahoma Wesleyan. One of the best relievers in the Great Lakes League thus far this season. But slider again, which is the money pitch. That one missing on the outside. So 2 balls and no strikes to count. It'll be Sunken, Bryson Smith, and Dan McCauley due up for the Copperheads here. And Landon missing way on the outside that time. So 3-0 now. And not the start you want if you are Landon Williams. Almost a questionable decision. You'd see by many to even throw Landon Williams out there after Michael Pineda O'Donnell was pitching so well, as Williams is low and in that time. A 4-pitch walk, just the 3rd walk issued by Williams all season. O'Donnell, his final pitch, no hits, no runs, so no earned runs. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. So good job in relief there by Michael Pineda O'Donnell, who continues to work off of positive outings here today and then also against Licking County. Williams is low and away. First pitch there to Bryson Smith. And Williams, who we saw him work an inning yesterday, now on 1 day's rest. That one does find the zone, a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike to count now. Here's the 1-1. Pass over that over it short, and that's going to roll into left field. A base hit, so 2 on and nobody out for the Copperheads here in the home half of the 8th. And trouble brewing here for Landon Williams. Now it's Dan McCauley to the plate. McCauley is 1 for 3 on the day. Grounded out his last 2 times to the plate. One of them, well, both of the balls to short. One of them a 6-3, and the other one a 6-4-3 double play. That one came back in the 4th inning. Williams, slider on the outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Dan McCauley, the catcher from Ohio University here. Of course, the campus that we are currently on, the Ohio Bobcats, who won the MAC this year in 2000. Made a regional appearance before they were bounced by Indiana University. And 1-0 pitch from Landon Williams. Slider finds the outside part of the plate, a called strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Runners at first and second for the Copperheads, who lead the Scouts by a score of 13-3. The Copperheads with 13 runs on 9 hits. The Scouts with 3 runs on 9 hits. Swing and a miss there. Change up from Williams. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. 14 strikeouts in 9 innings pitched for Landon Williams. So more than a strikeout per inning if you're looking at the K per 9 numbers. The 1-2 pitch. And that one in there for a called strike 3. So make it 15 strikeouts this season for Landon Williams. Gets Dan McCauley looking. And that's out number 1. So now it's going to be Zach Walsh to the plate. Walsh is hit by a but sit over 3. A ground out, a fly out, and also struck out looking back in the 4th. One of Titus Collins' victims, as slider from Landon Williams once again on the outside. One 0. Zach Walsh from Santa Clara University. You talk about Santa Clara. Of course, that's the great state of California, as that one's hit hard into left field. Jordan Lambert makes the grab out there and left. So 2 away now. And back to the top of the order for Daniel McFarland. Day so far, let me tell you. McFarland is 1 for 3. He scored a run, 2 RBIs, was hit by 2 pitches. Hit by a pitch in the first inning, hit by a pitch in the second inning. Also reached on an error by Ange Bourgeois back in the 7th. First pitch to him, slider, right down the heart of the plate, a called strike. 2 away here in the home half of the 8th. No balls and a strike. It's 2 runners on. Ty Sunken at second, and Bryson Smith at first. The 0-1 pitch. Low, below the knees. Evens the count up, a ball and a strike. McFarland came into the game a .314 hitter on the year. 3 doubles, 9 RBIs. Make it 11 now when you factor in his 2 RBIs already today. The 1-1 pitch. That one taken all the way, finds the zone, a called strike 2. So Landon Williams 1 strike away from getting out of this inning unscathed and throwing what would be the 6th consecutive scoreless inning for Xenia Scouts pitching. Thanks. With 2 away. Williams delivers. And that one is hit into shallow center, but Francisco Andina calls for it. He makes the grab for out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit and 2 men left aboard for the Copperheads in the bottom of the 8th. We have played 8. The Copperheads lead the Scouts by a score of 13-3. The Scouts will have 1 more shot at it when we come back. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. So the Scouts will have 1 more shot at it here. It is the top of the 9th inning. They trail 13-3. Francisco Andina to the plate. First pitch. That one slider finds the zone. A called strike 1. Andina is 0 for 3 today. All 3 of which are flyouts. 1 to third, 1 to short, and 1 to center field. The 0-1 pitch coming now. Just off the plate. Evens the count 1-1. It'll be Andina, followed by Ben Beachy and Ryan Park here, as the Scouts have their final chance to try to put up 10 runs and tie this game. 1-1 pitch. The count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes. Andina hitting a .182 coming into this game. But like Gabe mentioned earlier, an on-base percentage of around 400. as he just gets a piece of that one, stays alive at 1-2. Andina, the native of Puerto Rico, one of a couple of international guys on this team. Of course, Andina and Jorge Lozano, with Lozano being from the Dominican Republic. 1-2 now. Here's the pitch. It's swung on and missed, strike 3. Francisco Andina gets K'd. And now the Scouts down to their final 2 outs, but probably the most productive hitter on the day coming to the plate, and that's Ben Beachy. Beachy had a solo home run in the 3rd. He doubled in the 7th and came around to score, so he scored twice. A couple of hits, both extra base hits, and the leadoff man for this Scouts team, Ben Beachy, first pitch to Ben, and that one's in the dirt, and that was way short of the plate. Beachy watching all the way there, a ball and no strikes to count. Beachy from Otterbein, right here in the great state of Ohio. 1-0. Beach takes low and away, 2 balls and no strikes. The Scouts have managed 9 hits. 3 runs, however. It's also managed 9 hits, but the Copperheads. So the difference there is the walks and the hit by pitches. Quite frankly, the second inning for the that one in the dirt. So Beachy ahead in this count. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch. Swing and a miss there. So the count moves 2-2. Or 3-2, I should say. There. And Beachy looking. A couple of strikeouts for James Whiteman, and the Scouts are down to their final out in this ball game. And Ryan Park comes to the plate to Park. Single, an RBI single, his last time up in the 7th. Comes into the game batting .286, 1 for 3 on the day. He also has the sophomore from Point Loma Nazarene, and he takes the 1-0 pitch low and in, 2 balls and no strikes to count. Park, the native of Fullerton, California, and you talk about baseball talent out of Fullerton, California, and there's 2 words that come out of the mouth. Gary Carter. Gary Carter, of course, the Hall of Fame catcher who played for the Mets and the Montreal Expos back in the day, unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago. 3-0. That one finds the zone, a called strike. So 3 balls, 1 strike, and 2 away here in the top of the 9th. The Scouts down to their final out. The 3-1 pitch. And that one off the plate, ball 4. So Ryan Park draws his 2nd walk of the day. And now Jordan Lambert with 1 on and 2 outs. Jordan Lambert picked up the first Scouts hit of the game back in the 1st, top of the 1st. Since then, has been unable to reach base. He's grounded out twice, one of which into a double play, and also flew out to right field. His last 4 is Jordan Lambert. Here's 1-0. That one clips the outside part of the plate, a called strike. Count evens up 1-1. 2 away here. Lambert, the native of Savannah, Tennessee. He bats from the left side against the righty. And he rips that one into right field, a base hit. So Jordan Lambert has his 2nd hit of the day. And the Scouts with 2 on and 2 outs now just have not said die yet. And Kyle Casserly comes to the plate with an opportunity to put a little extra on what has been an impressive series for the big first baseman from Wright State. If you didn't hear it yesterday, Casserly, a home run and a couple of singles. He's also singled in this contest as he watches on the outside. 1 ball and no strikes. It's Ryan Park at 2nd, Jordan Lambert at 1st. The 1-0. That one comes way inside. The count moves 2-0. Casterly game 4. 3 doubles, 1 home run, 7 RBIs for the Wright State Raider. 2-0. And that one fastball inside part of the plate, a called strike. The count moves 2-1. Casterly 9 for 24 on the year. And that one on the ground, and that one's going to go into right, a base hit. Everyone advances 90 feet. So Ryan Park to third, Jordan Lambert to second. Kyle Casterly has his second hit of the ball game, and now the bases are loaded for Chris Ackerman. So talk about a little bit of a 2-out rally for the Scouts. Not going down without a fight. They still trail this game by 10 runs, so with, 2 outs in the top of the ninth. It's a tough hill to climb, but the Scouts will, if nothing else, finish with more hits than the Copperheads in this game. His first pitch to Chris Ackerman, fastball, outside part of the plate, a called strike 1. Ackerman is 1 for 3 on the day. He singled back in the 6th. Also walked, so he's been on base twice. And 0-1 in there for a called strike 2. So Chris Ackerman and the Scouts down to their final strike in this contest. No balls and 2 strikes, but 2. With the bases loaded, the 0-2, and that one in the dirt. Good block there by the catcher, Dan McCauley. So Ryan Park's going to have to stay put, and the count will move 1-2. The catcher from Hillsdale College, Chris Ackerman at the plate. One and 2 coming now. And that one low and away, evens up the count 2-2. So Gabe was out of here for a little bit, but because of singles from Lambert and Kyle Casterly, the Scouts will finish with more hits than the Copperheads in this game. A 2-2 pitch off the plate, so 3 balls and 2 strikes. So if you're James Whiteman, a bases loaded walk. If you don't find the zone here, Park at third, Lambert at second, Casterly at first. 3 balls, 2 strikes, but 2 outs in the top of the ninth. The pitch, and Ack fouls that one out of play. First base side. We're going to do 3-2 all over again. Chris Ackerman, a 208 hitter on the year coming into this game. But with 11 walks on the year, the on-base percentage, certainly a much more respectable number, 3-2, and that one taken off the plate, ball 4. 11 walks, make it 12. Ryan Park's going to come home, take his free 90 feet, and the deficit is cut to 9 runs here. The base is still loaded in the top of the ninth.
And another RBI, bases loaded walk.
It's big, man. So Ryan Park comes home to score. Lambert now to third. Joey Roddy could get his 4th base of the year here, Gabe. Talking about storylines. And so it's Lambert at third, Casterly at second, Ackerman at first. 1-0 pitch finds the zone, evens at the count of ball and strike. Joey Roddy, pretty good day today. 1 for 3 with a walk. The 1-1 pitch. And that one way outside. And Dan McCauley, the catcher, backhands that one after getting out of his crouch. And that one probably saved another run from coming home, preventing that one from going back to the backstop. But 2-1 now, the count to Joe Roddy. And Roddy hits that one on the ground over towards short. The throw to first will get there in time, and that's going to be the ball game. So the final score here, the Southern Ohio Copperheads 13, the Xenia Scouts 4. The Copperheads with 13 runs on 9 hits. The Scouts with 4 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. The losing pitcher is going to be Nick Curtis. The winning pitcher, Butch Baird. Yeah, it should be Butch Baird. Nobody gets the save there because it was not a save situation. So the Scouts will fall to 6-7 on the season. The Copperheads move to 7-6. And Gabe, what are your final thoughts on this ball game?
How many times have we seen the Scouts this year? of the 7 losses are because of big innings. And when I say big innings, I mean a 10-run inning, a 9-run inning, a 4-run inning, a 6-run inning. I can't think of the 5th one right now. But it kills ball games. And I know you can play the what-if game in every single game in any sport ever. But take away the 10 spot in the 2nd inning. I mean, I'm not going to say we win the ball game because it's a totally different ball game. But zeros the rest of the way. A fantastic job by Titus Collins, Michael Pineda-O'Donnell, and Landon Williams for an inning. And unfortunately, the starter, Nick Curtis, today, a little out of control on the mound. His first start in over a year. Lost some control on the mound. Same with Alex Worthington, who's still... Same thing for Alex Worthington. Don't forget that. He has not started a game since high school. On his first start, he struggled a little. He's still getting used to some things. It happens. And it's got to get better. It's got to get fixed. Because if the pitching rotation does not get fixed, it's going to be a long year for the Xenia Scouts. And we are 13 games in, so almost way through the year.
Yeah.
And game number 14 against the Jazz Tuesday will be a third of the way through the year. And if the pitching rotation doesn't get, then the Scouts are in for a long, but hopefully we can bounce back Tuesday.
And you're 100% right, Gabe. And, starting pitching has, quite frankly, at times been an issue. When you look at the positives, right? There were positives. Frankly, after that 2nd inning, the Scouts 6 straight scoreless innings.
Yep.
And that's great work by the bullpen, of course. Though it's
right.
And Titus Collins is making strides. It's been like straight innings, a scoreless baseball thrown by Collins. Michael Pineda-O'Donnell doesn't allow a hit, and actually was not in regular lane. He still ends up striking out still ends up striking out a guy and getting out of the inning completely unscathed. 6 and 7, and we're going to have to work something out with this rotation because it's like poison to a baseball game. If you have a 6-row top in the top, it's tough. It's tough to come back from. But the Scout team has been resilient. We saw it with the 4-game win streak that they were able to streak together after falling to 2-6 on the season. And we're going to be able to see the top of the rotation, hopefully, against the Jazz on Tuesday and Wednesday. Either Jorge Lozano, Caleb Bly, and Zach Wallace, who we all have confidence in those guys. And hopefully the Scouts are able to string a couple together because we're very close in the standings right now. We're going to try to get you some out-of-town scoreboard action before we get out of here.
And that's something I'm also curious on. Jorge Lozano comes into this summer, the number 1 pitcher for the Xenia Scouts. Had a fantastic summer last year for the Scouts, 5-0 in the win-loss column. And quite frankly, had a good year at Wright State. His numbers were a little skewed because he had one bad relief appearance at, I believe, Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky.
And
5 earned runs in 1 inning.
But he pitched, Lozano pitched good the rest of the year, for most of the year. But Jorge Lozano's numbers, just to continue on that. You said 5 earned runs against Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
That was it, earned run-wise for Lozano.
So and how many? Let's say it was 1 inning.
He appeared in 8 games for the Raiders, 13 and a third innings pitched. His ERA was 3.38 because he gave up 6 runs, 5 earned runs.
Okay. So Lozano, like you said, very good. And
he's come out in his first 2 starts this summer, and he gave up the 9 spot to the Joes in his second start. And in his opening start against the Copperheads, I believe it was a 6-run 3rd inning. Yeah. So I am very curious to see how he bounces back. And talking with him today, he has talked about how his next inning will probably be a bullpen appearance. Apply to start, we will have Jorge Lozano available to pitch an inning or two, especially in 7-inning games against the Jazz on Tuesday.
Indeed, because the Jazz is a doubleheader on Tuesday because of the rainout.
Doubleheader.
I did not remember that. But it's 100% right, Gabe. And, looking at the out-of-town scoreboard right now, not the scores that you want to see if you're in Xenia Scouts camp. It's 7-3 in favor of Steam, the bottom of the 8th in Cincinnati. And in Hamilton, it's 3-0 Richmond Jazz. That is in the top of the 6th. So
if those results but I'm going to go with the wins. The Steam will have 9 wins. The Jazz will have 7. The Copperheads will have 7. The Scouts will stay at 6, and the Joes will have 5. So, and it reads in that order. It'll be Steam, Jazz, Copperheads, Scouts, Joes in the Southern Division.
Yeah, of course, very close. All of that, a spread of games between the Scouts and the first place Cincinnati Steam at that point. So obviously plenty of baseball left to play in the season. Like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the Scouts, they were the 2016 South Division Xenia Scouts who finished 27-15. We're at 1.5-6. So a lot of time to come back, and hopefully the Scouts will be able to work on this rotation and get something going and get some consistency going forward. We have seen the potential that this team has, and we are just waiting for all of them at the right time. But we get a day off tomorrow, a much-deserved day off for everyone involved. We'll be back in action on Tuesday against the Richmond Jazz. So
at home, come out.
Support the 2 7-inning games between the Scouts and the Jazz. So I'm Andrew Alix. He is Gabe Genovesi, and we thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a pleasant evening. We'll see you on Tuesday. God bless.